Gotcha! I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olya's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she's shining with happiness. I always retorted, "But Dad, she's not some flashlight." But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven from light.
I saw everything.
Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. There's a bunny rabbit right here staring at me, and it makes me mildly uncomfortable. It's nothing, just... Olya ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked,
You stole something and hid it there? Are you a thief?
What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Then show me.
Swear that you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Olya wore a plotting smile.
I swear on Mom's heart.
The oath she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Pioneer movement, an umbrella term for communist children organizations existing around the world, somewhat reminiscent of the Scout movement. Don't say things like that. Olya nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic creature.
Is this someone's mitten?
She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and then got lost himself. Now do you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander off into the forest at night?
He must be really cold out there. Will they find him?
They will. The police are going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Olya traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
And why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared?
The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny, where darkness cold and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later? For me. I changed the topic, as if trying to get Olya as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy myself. A lot of stuff, like in Field of Wonders. Field of Wonders, a Soviet and Russian TV game show, still running to this day. Coming every Friday, can be described as a partially adapted version of Wheel of Fortune. Sounds cool, right? Olya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
What if the owl got him?
Nonsense! An owl wouldn't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... how should I put it? It's cursed or something.
Just like in a fairy tale?
No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Olya shivered and stole a glance at the window.
I saw you running away. Was someone chasing you?
No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. I looked at my sister. My heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. The gust of wind and her small fire would be gone.
You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. I can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here.
You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. And you have me in your cartoons. And Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon.
You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we could go to play together like we used to.
Yeah, and if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Olya giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Tony, let's go watch Aladdin.
Fatigue went over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to.
Come on. It's so boring alone, and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before.
I know all of our tapes by heart at this point.
Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan? Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go.
Maybe a bit later.
Should I tell you how it ends?
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
I won't tell you tomorrow. I know, let's play hide and seek.
No, Olya.
Then draw me a dino.
Olya, please.
Draw it.
Will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken aback. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olya stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olya from crying. All right, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. I came up to her and put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan. Boo, you'll fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full triceratops later.
Hooray!
Trippy, Siri Pops. Well, close enough. Olya rubbed her eyes with a sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. A shit-eating grin. She looks like such a brat, but she's so cute.
I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it.
Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again.
Wanna bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it.
Olya disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Is that Chip and Dale? The scary window where Olya sees that accursed owl every night, lurking in the dark. Olya keeps her curtains open during the day, but as soon as twilight comes, she shuts them tight so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Wait, that's the Pixar ball. The fuck? Olya's countless toys. An old teddy bear is the main attraction here. Olya doesn't sleep without it, and she digs her nose into its fur when she sleeps. Adorable. She has a sewing machine? A piggy bank. Olya is saving money for a real puppy because Dad said that taking care of him will be a lot of money. Did I get everything? Looks like it. Alright, cool. Let's turn it on. Man, this thing is giving me some serious flashbacks. I never had a TV quite this old. Oh, I just noticed the reflection. That's really cool. But I never had a TV quite this old, but man, that VCR looks real familiar. The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Oh no, what's gonna pop up on the TV? These almost look like eyes. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. The forest! Ooh, I hate it. It was a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Oh, thank goodness. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by the noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV stations only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna? What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Oya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint her. But in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Whoa. Little hippos. Oh wait, are those from the, Oh, they're Kinder Surprise hippos. Okay. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. Neverland. The tape inside of it rustled, rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I squatted before the TV. Images whirled in my head, me and Oya flying above the forest, tumbling into the soft clouds. My little sister was laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us part, bearing the bristly pine tops. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees, the wings no longer able to hold us, and Oya...
You haven't started without me, have you?
My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes. No, come, sit. Mom and Dad are arguing again. They're going through rough times. Rough times are lame. Wait, so if this is the milk, what is this? Like butter? No. Honey, maybe? Anywho. On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Oya was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana.
Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too?
Yeah, right.
I'll have my own dog, in the Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot.
Oya smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
Have you lost all your baby teeth?
Obviously.
Oya frowned, deep in thought. Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go to his land without adult teeth?
We'll think of something. Huh. I guess I never thought about that. I was weird. When I was 12, I still hadn't lost all my teeth yet. It took me till I was like 14. In fact, I still have a baby tooth. I'll never lose it. Weird.
We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport.
And why would Dad forge documents? Oya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full.
He will. I heard Mom say that they did it before.
You'll grow ears as big as Dumbo's. Oya got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. My little sister was silent now, and she just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinker Bell, and James Hook. This bunny must be, like, attached to her. Oh, it's probably, like, part of her dress or something. That would make sense. My brain is small. as if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where no one ever ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens and fights to the sounds of broken plates at night. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Tony, shut the curtains fast!
Why? No one's watching you.
It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared.
I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. There's no eyeball, so that... okay, didn't mean to, but... I did my best not to look outside, toward the tree tops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow.
Tony, Mom thinks I made the owl up. And Dad, too, thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owl exists. Honestly does. You do believe me, right? That it comes every night and...
I swiftly grab Olya's hand and look her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window.
But it wants me to look.
It doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and it never existed. Like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. It was madness, but after everything that's happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Olya's owl existed. It was probably the thing that flew over us while we were running. Where's Olya? We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olya's eyelids had dropped. She started snoring lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olya's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field when Mom peeked into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? It's kind of a bitchy thing to say. Adults think everything is so simple. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to this house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just part of growing up, and I can't fully understand my own desires. And the forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Oh, that was episode 1 and it was juicy! It was juicy. I loved it.
What you doing in my seat? There's a demon in my chair. What? Yeah? Say it again. Oh, okay.
Alright, so this is me. Whomst is gonna go back and play the little pieces that I didn't, because evidently I missed a thing or two. Alright, so we're gonna run away here. Lumps of snow fell from the branch that reminded me of the sound soil makes when you throw it into the pit on top of a casket. I immediately felt dizzy, as if I was balancing at the precipice. I slowly backed away from my finding. It felt like the moment I touch it, a trap would spring, and the mouse would get caught. Someone stepped on the ice behind me, close by. My inner voice whispered, "Save yourself! Run!" My nerves got the better of me. I ran, burying my head in my shoulders. Someone was chasing me from the darkness. Breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. Alright, so that's another achievement, which is escaped. So the last achievement that I do not have yet is cursed tape, which is some like report footage. Oh. I didn't even see that as an option before. The picture finally cleared up. But the moment I rejoiced at finding that weird signal again, the TV started coughing, a voice barely coming through the cacophony. He was often seen at the moment when... Small snowy hills were lined on the screen, pierced with rickety crosses, and a male voice was narrating with a slow, mournful voice. It was a pitch-black night at the cemetery. In that faithful dark time, little Senya met her fate at the face of a monstrous thicket dweller. The locals call him none other than the Forest Master. I froze and did my best not to move, as if by doing that I could scare away the narrator. I listened closely to his every word. The beast dealt with the helpless girl in a masterful manner. The camera panned across the snow with something black spilled over it, looking for ragged pieces of cloth that were thrown all over the place. Masterful? Oh. Is that the girl? I didn't want to think whether Senya's remains were wrapped in there, so I shut my eyes without thinking. The voice continued. Wolves are rare guests in these parts. Here's what Tamara, the old woman that lives in the nearby crypt, had to say. A close-up shot of the face of an old homeless woman, weary from life and alcohol abuse, rattled on the screen.
Yes, yes, such a fearsome beastie it is. Worse than the rising dead.
The old woman splattered saliva all over the rectangular mic. Oh!
And the stink, it's like...
The rest of her comparison was swallowed up by the sound of a horn.
I've never felt anything like that. It was just standing there, yes, right where you stand, boyo, and pierced me with its eyes, right in the middle of day. Was so huge that one with glassy eyes... Obscenities were covered by another beep. You know, they say if this demon lays its eyes upon you, it'll snatch you and put you into his bag, and you're done. But he won't touch me. Likes me, it seems. So they even call me the devil's wench. And it's definitely true. The carnivorous monster will not touch those who fell to the level of forest beasts, going for the innocent child's blood instead. The Forest Master's presence is felt more and more on the outskirts of our country. Torn between believing in what was said and shrugging it away, I decided to record the remaining part of the documentary for some reason. I quickly grabbed the tape that was on top of the TV and put it into the VCR without even looking at the cover. I pressed record and turned the sound up and paid attention to the slipping signal. It's not called the Forest Master for nothing. All the animals obey it, and hairy or feathery, they're all precursors for its appearance.
If you hear howls in the distance, then it's most likely already knows where you live. If you find animal prints all over your doorstep and birds watching you from the trees, you'd better hide. It's already coming for you. And if you wake up at night and see a pair of eyes in your window, then soon, 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 soon. The TV suddenly went mad and looped the last word over and over, piercing my ears. I got goosebumps all over my spine. The tape ended and was rewinding to the beginning. The sound of rustling tape reminded me of leaves in the wind and the low howl of the beast. I woke up from my stupor and pressed the button. The VCR ejected the tape. For a moment, I thought it was stained with saliva. But that was just the light from the chandelier making the black plastic glossy. Then I saw the cover. Oops, I recorded it over Peter Pan. That's what I get for hurrying. It was bad enough that I ruined Olya's cartoon, but I also put this creepy stuff over it. I can't let her see this. We'll drown in tears. I snuck a glance at the door. I could hear the clatter of glass and squeaky floorboards. Olya appeared in the doorway.
You haven't started without me, have you?
My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. No. I was looking for the tape. Do you really want to watch Peter Pan?
I do. Turn it on already. Mom will come watch her Brazilian drama soon.
Come on, think, fake detective. You know, I didn't like Peter Pan. Maybe we should watch Little Mermaid instead?
I've already seen it so many times. And you promised me.
She's so stubborn. I know. Let's watch a couple of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles episodes first. Deal? Olya frowned, but ultimately gave up. She put down the tray and crossed her hands on her chest.
If you want it so much, can you open the milk can? I'm afraid I'll cut myself with the sharp edges.
As soon as I stood up, colorful dots popped before my eyes and my sore legs were pierced by thousands of needles. Only when I reached the sofa, I realized that the can was already open. Olya had tricked me, played me for a fool. My stomach became heavy. I wanted to rush toward the TV, but my little sister was faster. She picked up the remote and proclaimed in a victorious tone,
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha! As the remote's master, I command you to watch Peter Pan.
I couldn't even open my mouth, and the VCR had already eaten the accursed tape. She'll play it, and then black crosses and unnamed graves, empty crypts, bloody scraps on the snow, and the insane devil's wench. I'd better tell the truth. Olya, stop! I erased the end of your tape by accident. I'll trade it with you for 2 of mine.
What do you mean? You couldn't erase it. Me and Dad had broken off all the plastic pins with a screwdriver. You can't record anything over my cartoons now.
My little sister pressed the triangular play button on the remote. I squeezed on the inside, awaiting the out-of-this-world voice of the narrator. But I saw the duel between Peter Pan and Captain Hook instead. I sighed in relief. My head, heavy as a leaden ball, now rested in my hands. Olya smiled in joy. She put the tape on rewind and started spreading milk over her bread. And when the cartoon started, she forgot about everything in the world. As if she really got transported to Neverland, like she'd always wished. The chorus was singing the ending song. The world of Disney was lit up by a silvery moon. Satan? Another moon peeked from under the first one, scary and wan, hanging over the taiga forest. The horrific report got recorded right over the credits. My throat went dry, my pulse became faster. I looked toward Olya. She smacked her lips in her sleep. I squeezed the remote with all my might, ready to press stop any moment. I rewound the recording, checked if it was intact, and then carefully took out the tape. The protective pin was still in place. I stood up and left Olya's room. Whether it was by providence or by curse, I hid the tape at the exact moment Mom peeked into my room. That's it for episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. Very, very good. Very pretty. very creepy. It makes you wonder how much of this stuff is real or really just part of the child's imagination, which is one of my favorite things. I hope you guys are as excited as I am for the rest of this game to come out. I don't know if it's going to be free or not, but I think I may just have to spend a couple bucks on the full version. I hope it costs money, because if they're doing this for free, then who? This is essentially a demo, I suppose. Makes sense that it's free, but man, am I hyped. Alright, enough jibber jabber. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you were a superhero, what would the color scheme of your tight spandex costume be? Alright, there's the ridiculous question for this time. I'll see you guys later.